Let's ready to watch some games and these beautiful maps that you've provided for us.
Oh, I am very excited there, Mr. Juicy. We've been waiting for this team tournament and preparing for it for 6, 7, 8, 9 months now.
Long time for sure. First set of the night, we're gonna have the Cuckistadors versus Tripty.
Oh, that was. I thought we were doing the other one.
We're gonna do that one too, but we're doing
Okay,
this one
well,
first. No worries, you have some time.
yeah, I don't have it downloaded or anything.
Uh, I'll give you some time. Guys, welcome back. We have the map draft here for you. P1, I don't exactly know who he is, and Rain did the draft here. I believe they also did the Civ draft. They did. And we have Forest for P1, and Rain chose Lanes. They banned Mont Bailey and Water Arena. So it should be a good, solid amount of land maps for you guys here in the first set. Shaman, welcome, sir. Civ draft looks like so. Player one's team has banned Gujaras. They have Mongols, Franks, Ethiopians, Magyars, Mayans, Teutons, Lithuanians, and Goths. And then Rain has banned Hindustanis, and we'll have Britons, Berbers, Burgundians, Koreans, Huns, Dravidians, Slavs, and Tatars. So, a lot of variety, a lot of potential on these maps for some of these civs. Really looking forward to seeing how this one shakes out. Hitch is downloading the game because I didn't tell him we were going to do both. But yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. Hope everyone's doing great. We have two sets this evening. The next set is going to be between the Manta Ball 749 and Shaw Bros. So, hang in there, guys. Your set will be coming up after this one. And we just are waiting on Hitch. But if you guys don't know, and you are interested, there are two more brackets for this tournament going to be going on over the next few months. There it is in the Discord. Join there. All the information is there. Tell your friends, whoever you want to participate with, get them over here. It's going to be a lot of fun. A little bit of spoilers. We have only one set that was played, and then these next two that are turned in. King's Order took their first set in round one over Can-Am Connections and have moved on. We'll actually face the winner of this set here. So we'll have to see who that is.
I am ready, sir.
Marvelous. I am jumping into the game and I will be there at 5 seconds when you're ready.
Ready when you are.
3, 2, 1, go. Trip T, gonna have John AMD here in the Ethiopians in blue, and we'll have Franks for Gav in green. And on the opposite side, we have Of Hundreds playing the Huns in red and Rain Shield with the Britons in yellow. Hitch, this map, sir, how you feeling? All the changes we've made now.
Well, we haven't seen it played much. We've made some concessions. We took away this boar, but we've ensured that there's an extra pile of huntable closer to the sparing town centers as compensation, but still in the middle. So we really have to see how it plays out.
For sure, it's going to be interesting. I love this generation with the desert and the green area. I don't know what this actually is, but I love it.
Yeah.
Players will be forced to either push in some hunt or go to the middle and actually mill it. And with most situations now, you end up with about 10 hunt within reasonable distance of one another. Quite nice.
Yeah, it's definitely plenty of resources on this map as long as you're willing to go out for them. And I do think we've introduced an interesting trade-off by adding the option to push some of these. They're possible, but it's not a great push. But you lose that scouting, and scouting on this map I think is big. If knowing whether your enemy's out forward or playing at home matters here.
Yeah, and obviously players. Looks like we do have a few players scouting in towards the mid a little bit, but there's additional herdables out there as well, and we'll have to see who picks those up. Looks like Range Shield has figured that out for himself and is going to bring in a few additional herdables, which can really make up for a lot, especially with Britons here in the faster herdables.
For the generations, though, I say everyone's kind of got that corner one on this, and I think with the 2v2, it's always going to play out that way. You either all have corners or you all have a side. And which would you prefer to play on Battlegrounds there, GC?
Oh, I mean, the corner offers a lot, but it is a lot to wall up, so I actually think I like the side a little bit better. I think it makes for a little bit of a tighter, compact base. It's easier to wall yourself in if that is what you're going for. Interestingly, of 100 has actually come to the center to drop his lumber camp. He is quite far away from any of the near lumber camps in the back, so
Yeah, I mean, and well, you look, that's the case with Range Shield as well. I mean, he's taken a small lumber camp, or a small, wood pile there.
yeah, meanwhile, on the other side, Gav and John AMD both going back to the large wood line going across the back. The only disadvantage here, distance potentially from the TC, and this is all downhill. So any hits that would come in on these guys could be that more devastating.
I definitely think there's an argument for taking these near smaller piles of wood, which you can. For the first TC, it is a little safer if you're dealing with scouts early on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like we are going to have somewhat of a wall up here, but I don't know if Rain Shield notices there actually is a hole in the wood line in south there. So he will not be fully walled, although he may think he is.
I don't know. It looks good to me.
I see a cleared hole here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I bet you know that I don't have tiny trees on yet, so I'm going to get that fixed before the next set.
Yeah, the mods for you haven't been updated in a while, right? So, good time to
Yeah.
get back into that action.
I mean, and that's the thing. You talked about the walling with these corners. Like, you can wall to the TC, I think, and it's fairly safe. But it's such a long wall. It's such an awkward wall. When you're this close to the middle, the outside really is far away when you're in the corner.
Yeah, I actually really like how of 100 is like in the center of the map completely here. Like he's very exposed with the Huns here. Obviously, he doesn't need houses either, so it's not like quick walling in with houses or anything's going to do any good. So we'll see if he goes forward with that aggression. He is the first player up to the next stage. It looks like John AMD is going to be clicking up here momentarily as well. Looks like he chose not to, or maybe he's just waiting for the food. There it comes. Very
Little
quick up.
scout here from Gav. You don't love to see that, but just been sitting in the center middle of the map, center top.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think about the Civ matchup? Franks and Ethiopians against Britons and Huns. Feels fairly good, I think, both sides.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a matchup you might have guessed for this map, right? I mean, we've, Franks have always been popular here. Averroid generally been popular here, and then an Archer Civ rounding out. Ethiopians and Britons, both great. I don't think you can complain.
Absolutely. The barracks on its way up just now for John AMD, so his potential archery range is going to be rather far behind here, and that does slow things down a little bit for him. He will have two wood lines on the back here. He is still in the center. He does know that his opponent is up, has not pulled back from the center, and it looks like of hundreds is going to continue in the mid with the hunt here. So he is definitely planning on being out here for a while, it would seem. Rain Shield, meanwhile, is about to be up as well. And he is pretty successfully walled, minus this one hole in this little spot around his town center. But otherwise, should be fine. No walling for Gav or John AMD at the time, though.
Yeah, I don't know the elos here, but just from this, it feels like Gav's probably our low end. And if I recall, the set was low versus high seed, right?
Yeah, their first round is gonna be that way, but I don't know what seeds they are exactly. But it's a good thing to point out. Oh, and Gav is about to be in trouble here if these scouts find these vills, and it looks like they will.
Yeah, with Battleground going for this middle food, you're really playing a tight game because you have to be able to have the military to defend it. If you can defend it, I think it's worthwhile to be out there every time, but you can't get rolled over like this. You have to have the spears ready if you're not getting your own scouts out.
Yeah, and another vill will be taken out here, so 2 vills down here for Gav. So he is going to be in a bit of a rough spot. House here, a bit of a panic as well. Spearman in the center will get taken out just alone. And a spear coming forward with of hundreds. So he's
Yeah,
going very aggressive. Double stable.
yeah. Gav is definitely just feeling a little outclassed here. His scout could have been involved in that fight, and he wasn't. He was just idle on the hill. He could have used that spear on the hill instead of going off the hill there. Not great micro here, and he's looking to be in a real rough spot.
Yeah, he's
Look how heavy he is on gold with no archery range. I mean, and he's Franks. I'm not sure what the strategy is here.
Yeah, I mean, scouts is the play for sure here for him, but going
But
on that
he,
gold
he
so heavily.
had 6 on gold. I mean, yeah, it's maybe he's trying to compensate for the food and buy his way up, but he doesn't have a market. Maybe it's just a panic move. You lose the Ville forward and you come back and try to play defensive.
Yeah, and it's looking like John is just going to stay home for a minute until he gets his blacksmith potentially getting fletching on his way up. So he will have to do some damage with these archers, and this is kind of his window to do so. The Britain player, not a single archer here as of yet. Oh no, he has 3. They're actually headed forward, but none in production. So he's looking to do as little investment as possible in this next stage. Yeah, scouts coming forward here. Gav starting to get onto more farms, but all he has is the barracks right now, so it doesn't look like he's going to be building much more at this point.
Yeah. I feel like yeah. Oh, he's still on sheep for range. I was wondering what he was doing for food. Like he didn't have many farms yet, but I guess John's in the same position. Not much food income here.
Yeah, just a few on berries, a little bit of sheep here. The villagers are in trouble for John AMD as well. It's going to be 4 scouts and 3 archers here. Lots of villagers will go down. Entire wood line is being evacuated, and a lot of ills going out.
Yeah, and this is just the pain of a 2v2. It's an unfortunate situation that if you fall behind too early, the way Gav did, your other player gets 2v1'd, and there's not much that John can do about this right now.
But there's always a hole. And the archers for John AMD are in. Looks like they could find some damage back here. We'll see if he can inflict a lot of damage to try to keep his team in this game at the moment. They are 13 villagers down, and military numbers are down as well here. There's going to be 9 vills here, though, that are potentially in great threat, but looks like it's noticed very quickly, so not many will go down, although losses have been ensued. I see red all over the minimap. My god. Of hundreds is everywhere with these scouts.
Yeah, this and this is Battlegrounds is the only map we've seen team games on before. When it was first introduced, it was introduced for our team game tournament, but it was our only custom map. And pretty much the go-to strategy there was both players, like full scouts. And that ruled the tournament, if I recall. And off of hundreds has come to that conclusion independently, it seems here.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to come back. They're going to clean this up. Gav's actually going to be the first one to click the Castle Age, so potentially going to bring his team back in with some early Castle Age military. But right now they are significantly behind, and these archers are going to get cleaned up. They're actually attacking a farm right now, so a lot of free hits come in here. But
yeah, I mean, he is on his way to Castle Age, but of hundreds is only 100 food away himself. I mean, and Gav does not have the food eco to pump out knights in the timing that Matt would matter. Not to mention he does have a stable up now, but I don't know. I'm hoping it works out. I'd love to see it come back here from the Gav John team, but they've been so pressured here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this one continues. Obviously, it's not over till it's over, but 10 vills down is always a difficult spot to be in. Spearman fighting over here in the corner, actually. Otherwise, players just looking to be on their way to the next stage. I still like that Of Hundreds is using all this food in the center to his advantage here.
Yeah, and there's really no reason not to keep the hunt on when you have this much of a lead. I mean, you're only going to compound it, hunting being one of the best, fastest sources of food, and it being so plentiful here.
There's 14 archers for yellow. I'm not finding them all. Looks like they're show in the middle of the map. Oh, here they are. They're actually idling the eco over here for Gob, so it'll be interesting to see what he can come with here. He's grabbing foraging first. Does have +1 defense, but only a few knights going to be able to be produced at a time. His woodlines can be very exposed back here.
Yeah. I mean that's +1 attack there. That he got. He already had +1 defense skill barding, but I just don't know that when you're this far behind and you have this little food and you're in this tough of a situation that the upgrades make sense right now. I think he should have went right for the knights and waited for upgrades.
Well, knights will come in though, and they should be able to take a few out, but obviously without +2 on those, will eventually go down here. We do have a lot of archers in the base here, as John AMD is going to be on the gold. Lots of villagers could go down here. This has yet to be noticed. Oh, some great value here for these archers.
Yeah, I mean, and a double action here because Gav successfully cleans up the attack on his base. John doing all this damage at home. This feels like a great swing here for John and Gav to keep themselves in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these archers are still here. Castle Age is just now being clicked for John AMD. So he will be getting to the Castle Age potentially with 27 or more archers as these all make it home. The knights are headed in this direction. Archers coming out as well here for range shield. Castle Age a little bit faster for him though.
I would really love to see Rain plug that hole. He knows it has to be there by this point.
Yeah, we're going to see some walls start to come up for John here. And looks like he's just going to wall towards the town center here with palisades. Lots of open space in this map, obviously. Most of the extra gold and stone all going to be in the middle there. You do have a few extra tiles at home, but it is only not even extra. It's like, what is it, 6 tiles of gold in total?
I think so, yeah. I mean, this is what's done with the food. Even though Gav had that earlier up, he's outmassed on knights already. And the eco hasn't been able to keep up yet.
Yeah, knights are looking to do damage here, but really just running a circle around the map at the moment. Not able to do a whole lot. Archers gonna be in a interesting position here though, as we're gonna have a lot of archers on this side, all being gone into crossbow here very shortly. Military numbers are quite a bit ahead for Tripty's team, but I think it's just the archer numbers really. Knight numbers are only off by 1, I guess.
Yeah, so archer numbers are even still. Oh, actually, whoa, I didn't see all the archers at home. Never mind. Yeah, John has a lot of archers at home. Look at that. Okay.
Yeah, 34 archers to 17. Vodkin is now in here, and we have the knights for Gav keeping Of Hundreds at home. So he's going to take an engagement here.
He's attacking the mill.
Ooh,
Oh no.
that is not ideal. The crossbows are going to come back to deal with the crossbows here for a range shield, it looks like, as the other group of crossbows headed in to the economy yet again.
Yeah, John's done a great job here, and really the score has really come back. Of hundreds is clearly pulled ahead of the rest of the players here, but John and Gav have really come back score-wise from their earlier setbacks.
Yep, crossbows gonna be here. Idle the woodline, take out a few vills. Crossbows are in on the other side, but they are met with a whole group of archers and not going to be able to do this. Rains in chat. Never noticed the hole. How unfortunate for you. Would have saved you some heartache, for sure. Economically, it's still quite the advantage for the Cuckistadors, as they are...
This is a huge moment, though. Of hundreds has redirected its numbers. He's going to attack John at home. It's a 2v1. If they can get 2v1 for a while, can make it all the difference, right?
Yeah, but Gav's at home, and John AMD has only a few of these crossbows actually here. So he needs to communicate with his teammate and tell him to get his knights over here. Tell him his guy is here, but I think he's going to be getting cleaned up here at home. And maybe even forward. Equal
we
crossbow
do have
numbers.
+2 on of hundreds knights, so...
Yep, crossbows getting cleaned up all over the place here for John AMD, as villagers will also be going down heavily. The knights for Gav are going to arrive, but a lot of damage has been done here.
That's a lot of dead vills.
Yeah, I mean, the villager went down to 32 here, and the military count dropped quite significantly as well, and there are still knights in this economy doing a lot of damage.
I mean, we're looking at a 40 vil lead here for Rain and of hundreds at this point.
Yeah, and it was a huge swing both economically and militarily here for the Cuckistadors, as they take great engagement here, and it was really great to see this archer mass get cleaned up back here as well. So those crossbows should be headed forward before long. Gav looks like he's gonna leave, and there's a few more knights that just stroll into the base here that will have to be dealt with still. John is starting to fall apart. He's got knights under 2 town centers here for his opponent. Not noticing this one, now he notices, but that'll be the second Vil at least taken down there. And Goff just takes his knights home. There's some crossbows here that he should be able to clean up, but ultimately his team is in a very rough position. Pikeman switch now potentially going to be coming in. Looks like it is coming in here for of 100. Interesting choice to go pikeman now.
Yeah, I mean, of hundreds, really, you know, on its starting up his fourth TC here, the first one to really expand out to the middle. And as we know, getting the TCs out in the middle in our last tournament, the 1v1 tournament, was one of the biggest indicators of who was going to win. Who got out there first, who held those TCs first. Major factor.
Yeah, and now, you know, a bit of a traded situation, as John AMD is going to be losing numbers, but now Gav goes forward, and so does of 100, and a lot of numbers going down on both sides. It looks like more vills going down here for of hundreds, as the garrison came in relatively quickly over here, although it looks like a lot of units still going down here. There are knights all over the eco of hundreds, though.
Yeah, I think it's debatable whether you wall up in Dark Age, whether you wall up early on in Feudal here, but I think it feels risky not have any walls this late into it. It was so easy for both players to walk in the other base.
Yeah, and now we have some time here for John AMD to get back into the game, as his teammates losing a lot, but they're doing a lot of damage as well. The only player whose economy is really safe here is Rain Shield now. He hasn't been hit for a while. He's booming on 3 town centers, and he has a significant military mass. He has 40 crossbows out with Britons. But I think Gav is just dying even worse this time as he's down to 18 villagers now.
I mean, an important. I mean, you have range shield here too, and this is when having the art crossbows behind and knights ahead makes these fights so much more one-sided.
My goodness,
Oh,
there's stuff happening everywhere right now. It looks like of hundreds base is finally cleaned up, but I don't know if this is going to be enough to clean up range shield and Gav's base
yeah,
basically.
yeah. Refrain shield takes a good spot here in the wood line, getting a good trade here, but looks like he didn't decide to do that. Stayed out in the open.
Yeah. We do have some crossbow battles being microed forward here, shooting poor ostrich. But John AMD will take that exchange and be happy about that one. But now, I mean, 16 vills for Gav here.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the key thing here is that there's a 50 vil lead for this team. So, I mean, it's not something you can do a lot about.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we're going to see a second town center from Gav in the back. But he is going to have a really hard time dealing with this massive number of pikemen. Few knights here as well. And it's really on John AMD to try to carry his team, which is extremely hard with just crossbows. Still quite the massive difference here in villagers. It's going to be hard to come back. It's been an interesting game. The elos for these players, I saw you guys asking about it, anywhere from like 1100 to 1400 at this point, I think is what these guys are. Roughly. I have not actually checked for a couple weeks now since the bracket actually was released.
Range shield getting a castle up in the middle, finally getting more of that, getting that flank secured. And I'll try to get this TC down too. So big waste of resources there for John.
Yeah, absolutely. Will secure a stone and golds behind it as well, which is really a very important mark. We do have crossbows here for John AMD now, as that will probably send of hundreds back home or elsewhere. The pikemen would have a hard time dealing with that there. But Imperial Age on its way here for range shield right now.
Yeah, I mean, and you're looking at Britain arbs here. I mean, the range is insane. These walls on the John has aren't going to do anything once you're facing that. Whew. It's tough.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely going to be interesting. I mean, give it to Gav. He's tried to reboom for the second time here. He did a ton of damage to of hundreds, who's still only at 62 vils now. But overall, the Eco KD is just massively in favor of the Cuckistadors. Really feels like Cuckistadors are just waiting for that Imperial Age now, not really wanting to go dive into too much. Honestly, I think it won't be too hard pressed for them to finish this one out. They're looking very far ahead in every aspect of the game now.
Yeah, the Cooks here have definitely had a pretty good lead after, certainly since their first early raid in Feudal. But you know, this has not been one-sided by any means. Stripped team has certainly been in the fight. So I don't. It's hard to come back from this big of a vil deficit. But it has not been one-sided.
Yeah, and I mean, Gav pulled it back once, and he was really down on Vils. I think it was around like 20, 30, maybe 36, I think it was. But now we're going to have that Britain Arb spike here. The crossbows will stand no chance, even with the hill advantage here. Mangonels probably won't even get close enough to get a shot off at this point. Of course, I say that.
Oh, they Yeah.
Well, knight numbers have grown on the other side, and it looks like we're going to see rams come forward here. Pikes and knights going to dive on the opposite side as well. So this will distract John even further, as the front of his base will soon be in grave danger of being trebbed down. The knights for Gav, all that he had wiped out there, and the GG will stroll on in here. GG's. The Cuckistadors take this one, and was a very interesting game one. Really, it was a really fun game to watch. Lots of base trades, lots of villa kills. 85 to 44 kills for Eco for of 100. That's a crazy stat. Gav actually killed 44 and lost 56 as well. Villagers going down all over the place. GG's. Hitch.
I mean, the main thing I want to say with this is that that was not a one-sided match, right? Like, that did not feel like a stomp. It did not feel like obviously one team won, but like that was a fight, right?
That was a good game.
Yeah,
A very good game.
That's what I wanted to say. That's my takeaway from that game.
Yeah. But now for the sad news, guys. The sad news is Trip T decided they were too outmatched to continue, and therefore forfeited the set. So the Cuckistadors will actually take this one and move on into the next round. Bit of a shame. It was a really good game. I would have loved to have seen a second game, which would have actually been on their home map, which would have been Forest. And it would have been, I feel like, a great game, especially they could have walled up on that one, maybe even been a little bit more safe. But yes, sadly, that one is going to be over. A bit of a disappointment for them not to finish that set.
I mean, right. It's the player's prerogative. I mean, if you want to resign, if you feel like you don't have a chance, I get it. But I mean, I think I think they were wrong there. I mean, I think I could definitely see things going a little bit different on a different map. And Trip taking a game there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But guys, with that, we are going to update the bracket. So if you do wish to avoid spoilers, now is your one warning to look away. But we're going to dive over onto that. And the Cuckistadors advance here. And they will win the set 1-0. And move on to face King's Order 19. So, going to be a good set for them. Of course, this website decides to fail me. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. It'll be okay. We'll get it fixed. But we are going to move on to our other set this evening. Just bear with us for one moment.